the German woman who grew up in a cannibal tribe and swam with crocodiles. In 1989, a teenage girl arrived at a Swiss boarding school. She was German, but couldn't write very well. She looked like everyone else, but had trouble making friends. She knew little about television, pop culture, or fashions. Even everyday European customs were bizarre to her. That was because Sabine Kuegler grew up in a jungle. She wasn't a feral child. Her story was a lot more complicated. Indeed, Kuegler had to go back to the jungle as an adult, but the jungle rejected her. Here's her remarkable story. Sabine Kuegler was born in Nepal in 1972. Her German parents were linguists and Christian missionaries. Sabine and her two siblings grew up in Padang, but when Sabine was 7, they moved to West Papua, Indonesia. A new, previously uncontacted tribe had just been discovered. The Kueglers were the first whites to live with it. The Fayu lived deep in the West Papuan jungle. The tribal groups were constantly at war with one another. Some of them practiced ritual cannibalism. The Kueglers were determined to convert them. The Fayu chief accepted them. Sabine's parents learned to speak Fayu. They translated the Bible to spread the word. Amazingly, it worked. The tribal war stopped. Sabine became one of the tribe's children. They ran around naked in the jungle. Sabine learned to swim with crocodiles. She learned to shoot venomous spiders with arrows. She learned to chew on roasted batwing in place of gum. She was happy in the jungle. On the first day, Sabine made a trade with a native boy. She gave him her hand mirror in exchange for a bow and arrow. Seeing his own reflection for the first time startled the boy. Sabine and her siblings made fast friends with Fayu children. The Kuegler siblings taught the native children some games. The Fayu in turn taught them how to hunt. Life among the Fayu was simple in every way. This went on for 10 years, and then Sabine's life was appended. She was sent to a boarding school in Switzerland. Acclimation proved difficult. Sabine longed for the simplicity of jungle life. She had never been taught to spell. Sabine Kuegler's life in Europe was not easy. She got pregnant after a brief sexual encounter. She proclaimed the man her husband. Sabine was shocked to discover that marriage required a license. That man was already married. Sabine raised her child out of wedlock and later married another man. That led to divorce and a suicide attempt. But she persevered, writing books about her experiences. In 2007, Sabine Kuegler became sick. She had flu-like symptoms and her bones ached. No doctor in Europe could find anything wrong. She decided it must have been a Papuan parasite. So she went back to the Fayu. In 2012, they treated her with respect but wouldn't take her back. Sabine had become an alien to them. She couldn't just ask them for medicine.
In a tribe, everything is based on taking and giving.
She explained.
You always have to give something before you can take something.
So Sabine stayed with them for years. Ultimately, another medicine man from the Solomon Islands healed her. Today she's healthy and lives in Germany. Sabine Kuegler's most recent book was published in 2023. It's called I No Longer Swim with Crocodiles.